So I looked up the definition of situationship, and it says a romantic or sexual relationship that is not considered to be formal or established. Okay.
Sure.
And then they provide an example, and I think the example is perfect. It literally says, I'm trying to turn our situationship into something more serious. That is the approach. You know, if it's a situationship, I don't believe you guys owe each other anything. You guys are adults, to your point. Why are we in a situationship? Do we not know what it is that we're trying to get out of this? Do we just want to be friends with benefits?
What's up, everybody?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of
Coffee Breakup.
Yeah, starring Marvin Schultz and Christian Vera. So the other day, we asked some questions. We threw some questions out into the world, into the void.
And we just wanted to see who
would. Yeah, so we want to kind of give back to the audience and any questions that they may have. So we want to jump right into it to see some of the questions that we had. So do you want to start?
Yeah.
What's the first one?
I feel like
one.
men only pursue me with lustful intentions. What am I doing wrong?
I feel like men only pursue me with lustful intentions. What am I doing wrong? Well, without any context, what are you kind of giving off, So I'm literally looking at her profile picture,
I was doing the same
and
thing.
she's...
But it's her profile.
It's her profile picture.
Can't see much.
No, but I would say think about what it is that you're putting out into the world. There's a lot of guys out there, okay? They all have different opinions. They all go for different things, but it also depends on how you hold yourself and what you bring to the table, I guess, or basically what you're giving off, I would assume. No? But I also think it's how you react and act in those situations. Every man is obviously going to have some sort of lustful approach, especially if they don't know you.
Yeah.
They either want to banter, they want to talk to you, they want to, be flirty. And a lot of that comes with the, physical attraction and kind of playing off of that physical attraction.
Yeah.
So you will have a little bit of lust. But I think it's also then how you carry yourself and then how you respond to those lustful intentions that you claim, and then how you navigate through that.
Yeah. You said it greatly. I mean, she's a pretty girl. She's a cute girl. There's gonna be guys who are gonna have those intentions, and you're gonna get approached. It's essentially what you were saying. It's how do you respond to that? And I'm sure every girl probably struggles with that or has some experience where they get approached and they get hit on, and it might feel like defeating if that's all you feel like you're getting. But really, you have to just kind of shift your perspective and kind of, put your best foot forward and live the lifestyle that you want to, that you'll attract the right type of people. But yeah, a lot of times you're going to attract guys who will, maybe at first they want to have sexual relations with you. That's a lot of guys, and I mean, not for anything. If like guys are a little bit of wired like that too, to kind of procreate and have sex and, be a little bit more lustful. But again, how do you respond? Sorry.
I don't think that you're doing anything wrong, okay? So don't feel like it's your fault.
Yeah, you have to shift your whole life. No.
Yeah, I mean, just continue living with whatever values you are. Now, obviously, if you feel like that's all you're attracting, then kind of reevaluate yourself. Maybe you're kind of giving off something you don't even know, and that you feel like, man, I don't want to perceive this or feel like I'm coming off as this. So at that point, I'd say maybe self-reflect a little bit. See what it is that you're bringing out into the world, where you feel like you're contributing, what people see you as. And it may not be truth to who you are, but you also have to understand that that's the first thing. So first impression is very important. It's kind of like almost, it's a do or die, in most situations when you first meet someone. But from there, you can kind of control the narrative moving forward. So think about what that first impression would look like, or what impression you're giving off of people. And then from there, you determine if that's the direction they want to continue, and then, make changes.
And also maybe you feel like you're not doing anything in particular that would attract these guys, but maybe just because that's all you know, it's all you've known, maybe your family or your friends or that's kind of just the echo chamber that you live in, that you reside in. So take yourself out of that and see kind of objectively, if you can. It might be hard because you are who you are, and that's all you've known. But objectively, think about if you were a good, decent guy, would get the men that you want to attract, would they pursue you? And take yourself out of this equation. I know it's a little bit difficult, but try to and see if this is the person. Would you date yourself? And so kind of try that approach.
Let's talk situationships. Do you owe them anything? Loyalty, respect, etc. Situationships. Do you owe them anything?
It depends how you kind of start. You don't know him well. Situationships, as long as you don't establish anything, whether exclusivity or any of that, then I think it's a fair game. I do believe, even if it's a situationship, you want to have some type of parameters. You want to have some type of outline of, okay, like, what are we doing? At least be honest. I think honesty is very important. Maybe you guys are just kind of, messing around, but are you guys seeing other people? If you guys are seeing other people, are you using protection? I think it's very important, like if you're going to be seeing other people, like let them know, hey, listen, like, trying to see where this goes, or maybe we're just fucking around, but we are being, we're adults. We're two consenting adults. If you guys just want to fuck around, that's fine. But I think honesty, at least, is something that you would owe them, no?
So I looked up the definition of situationship, and it says a romantic or sexual relationship that is not considered to be formal or established. Okay.
Sure.
And then they provide an example, and I think the example is perfect. It literally says, I'm trying to turn our situationship into something more serious. That is the approach. If it's a situationship, I don't believe you guys owe each other anything. You guys are adults, to your point. Why are we in a situationship? Do we not know what it is that we're trying to get out of this? Do we just want to be friends with benefits? And I think having that conversation, sure, can kind of then remove the situationship. But if you feel like it's going to continue being a situationship, then no, I don't think anybody owes anyone anything, because that's all it is. It's a situationship, right, that no one wants to take the step forward, and the other person is getting strung along, holding on, hoping that it could be something more. But now if that person is not giving you the opening to graduate from a situationship to a relationship, you're only harming yourself by continuing in those patterns, because nothing's ever going to be defined. Even the definition itself, something that is not considered to be formal or established. So there's nothing established. How are you now going to create, how are you going to try to establish things within a situationship when in itself, it's not even something that's established?
Sure, I get what you're saying, but even in so, like, you want to set at least the stage of, like, okay, what is it that we're doing? You can be in a situationship or try to have some form of, like, okay, an agreement. But then again, yeah, you do owe each other the conversation at least.
But then it will no longer be a situationship then. But then, because a situationship is literally, this is nothing. We're just kind of here. That's all it is.
But are you comfortable in that position? So if you are, then perhaps, yeah, you don't. But the fact that you are asking the question, do we owe each other anything? I think that begs the question of, like, okay, like, sounds like you are understanding that this is not something that you want to stay in permanently. So if that's the case, then I would say, sure, yeah, you do owe each other. Yeah, like, an honest conversation. Are we staying here, or where are we, like, setting up the boundaries?
I think if the goal is to leave the situationship, then yes, I think you do owe someone a conversation, because you have a choice of either graduating from a situationship to a relationship. Yes, that deserves a conversation. Or if I don't like the fact that we're continuing in the situationship, you have the choice of leaving. Right?
Sure.
But if you're going to continue being in a situationship, it's a situation. We don't know what it is. That's why it's called a situationship. It's a situation that we don't know what to call it. So obviously, if there's nothing established, how are we not going to have something? How are we going to establish rules in something that's not even established? Because once you establish rules, then we know, okay, are we going to do something with this? Do we graduate, or do we walk away?
But the conversation, the honesty, doesn't mean that you're establishing rules. It also means that, okay, like, there are no rules. You can say, well, we're just doing our own thing. We can fuck around with each other, but we're clear with each other of what it is. Like, this is this, and this is not going to go anywhere, But you don't have to establish, like, boundaries, but at least you're having that conversation.
Right. So, but in this case, think about it. Let's talk situationships. Do you owe them anything? Loyalty? That's not exactly. That's,
you don't owe them loyalty.
To my point. Respect. I mean, I think everyone deserves respect. So I'm not really sure into what. Maybe, don't talk to another girl if I'm there with you, because we're in a situation. I know it's nothing official, but it's like, okay, so then what you want is exclusivity. If what you want is some sort of boundaries, you're no longer in a situationship anymore. You're trying to move into a direction of something. So you want loyalty, that's no longer a situationship. There's nothing established. At that point, it's already a relationship, or it's at least in the direction of becoming a relationship. Loyalty? That's what you have in a relationship. Why am I going to be loyal to a situation? I don't know. It's nothing. It's not formal. It's not established. Why would I be loyal to you? That's only going to happen because one person wants something more.
Yeah, or maybe they feel guilty for, like, well, I'm talking to this person. Like, can I talk? Well, we're not anybody. We're not anything. Can I talk to somebody else? So maybe she's coming from a position of that. So it's like, then no, you don't owe them anything.
Then you have to. So just like the example, I'm trying to turn our situationship into something more serious. Well, then I think that's a conversation that then you would have to have, because a situationship is literally, we don't know what it is. We're just having fun with it. And then if, for example, let's say me and Christina were having a situationship, right? Am I going to get mad if she starts talking to somebody else? Why would I? I should have done something. I should have had the conversation. So she doesn't owe me loyalty.
No, I agree. I don't agree that they owe you loyalty, but I mean, it depends what the goal is. I think you said
that's
it
what
earlier.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, you like that one?
Yeah. I mean, I would, situationships. Let me see what the fuck is this person. A lot of people find themselves in these positions, and I feel like it's because one person generally wants something more than the other person, and the other person is just comfortable with where they are. But you got to have that conversation. Either you're going to move forward, or what is it that we're doing? I think it's important, man. Even if, we're just, hey, I'm not ready for a relationship. Whatever it is that you want to do, at least be honest and talk about it. So I think honesty is important. But in the grand scheme of things, if you're just fucking around, there's nothing established, you don't owe them loyalty.
I agree. I agree. I'm going to skip over the part one. We can go back to that one at the end.
Sure.
What's your opinion on a healthy amount of sex in a relationship?
I like that. I think it depends I think there's variable factors of it. Do you live together? Do you have, well, actually, I don't think if you have kids or whatever, I don't think they should have any insight on that. But I think if you live together and versus if you don't live together, it makes it different, obviously. But for the sake of argument, let's say you live together. Man, I think you got to have sex weekly. I think you got to have sex at least maybe 3 times a week.
That's what you think is the number? Is that your number? Is that what you think is healthy for you?
I think I don't live with my girlfriend.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of what is in your opinion.
You would maybe, well, if you live together, like, how do you want to, if you live together, you would know, you live with your girlfriend.
What is your opinion on a healthy amount of sex in a relationship? Man, that's tough, because one can say, well, we need to have sex every day. So what is a healthy amount?
But realistically, it's you're not gonna have sex every day.
I mean, I don't have sex every day. You have sex every day?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see my girlfriend every day. But even
so, no. Yeah. No, dude, man, like I wake up at 5 a.m. I go to the freaking gym. Right after that, I go work out. I get home sometimes, dude, but then I think, man, I have to go to sleep at a certain time if I'm trying to wake up the next day at 5 a.m. Then, bro, like for not for nothing, there was last week, this freaking girl saw some freaking documentary, got her freaking in the mood, freaking grabbed me and fucking started doing everything at like 10:30 at night. And you would think, well, 10:30 is not that late, but I'm trying to wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And I ended up going to sleep super late that night, and it's like, I felt like shit. So it's like, well, what are we trying to accomplish? So I understand. So you do want to feel pleased. And I think it also depends on just the current situation. You have to be understanding and maybe probably make time for it. Yeah, so I think you need to speak to your partner of what that is. But I
mean, weekly
healthy amount, sure. It's going to be very, it's depending on the person.
But there is some form of like there's some number. It's not going to be, once a month. So there has to be. I would say weekly for sure, at least twice a week.
I would say. So.
If you have to give a number, if you have to.
You know what? They say something about dating. It's like, what is it, the 222 rule or 224 rule or whatever? That's like every 2 weeks you do this, and then every 2 weeks you go out here, and then once or whatever you do this. I feel like you should at least strive to have it once a week, because sometimes it gets very busy. Maybe you don't even see your girlfriend sometimes. It depends on your schedules. I mean, you maybe try to work around to spend more time with her, and maybe in those moments you do have that distance that brings you together.
Sure,
I missed you. I see her every day, so sometimes I see her and I just get excited. Just she's like one of my friends. I'm really excited to see her, just hang out and talk. And then I just want that. So I think it depends. But if you could practice for at least once a week. I think that'll be at least every single week as time goes on, because sometimes time flies and you're like, shit, it's been like a month.
I also think the amount of frequency is important, but also the type of sex you have, how intimate you are, because you can have
quality
sex,
of the sex.
Exactly, because you can have sex 3-4 times a week, but if it's just a quickie, if it's just like maybe one person's getting off, the other one person isn't, then is a really good quality sex. At that point, the number could be as high as anything, but it's not really, you're not pleasing each other. Truly.
Yeah.
So if you have sex once a week and it's like an amazing, you have foreplay, you have everything, da da da, and it lasts, and you're bonding and you're like intimate, and it's really, really gets you going. I think that one number is great, you know. But you want to have good quality sex.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, you guys are fucking boring as fuck. You guys need sex at least 3 times a week, 3 times a day, every single." And I'm like, dude, I mean, I got a lot on my plate. I'm busy. If I had more free time, maybe I'll have more time to rub one up.
I mean, if you're on vacation, that's different. If you're on vacation, you know, then
no, you wake up. You wake up before you go out to eat. You come back from eating. You're getting dressed. We got a shower. Do it in the shower. Yeah.
Yeah, but now, at this point, you know, people have responsibilities.
Exactly, dude. I don't even know how people find the time to do it.
That's true.
Please share on the topic of no contact during breakups. Pretty please.
For sure, we are doing that. Man, I think it's very clear, and I think it's the only really way to truly move on is if you cut out all ties, all methods of contact. It's one of the very, very important points that I've written about in my first book, Learning How to Heal a Broken Heart. Was one of the first steps to get over somebody is to kind of stop talking to that person, right? And it could be easy to like linger and like, oh, what are they posting? Creeping up on their story, trying to see their tweets and stuff like that, seeing where they are, where they're going out. But if you truly want to move on, you said you made that agreement, like, hey, listen, I'm going to move on. I'm going to let go. I'm going to move past that. You have to cut all ties. Unfollow them, block them, emails, phone number, everything, the whole shebang. Got to go.
Yeah, I agree. If something didn't work out, because think about it. Let's say you and I are dating, we break up for whatever the reason may be. So it's something that's going to be very fresh, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you need time to heal. Maybe I need time to reflect, whatever it may be. Constantly feeding fuel into the fire will never allow the fire to completely go out. There will always be something lingering where, and I'm not saying a positive fire. I'm saying like the fire as in like an issue. Like if we're breaking up for the issue, there's not enough time to heal. And I think whether it's to move on or if it's just to heal yourself and maybe give it another try with the same person. But you guys will never do that if there's constant contact. There's no development. There's no time alone to reflect and really understand of whatever may have happened about the breakup. Maybe you fell out of love and maybe distance, you'll realize like, I was just going through something. But I think if there's constant contact, then there's always like that little refresher where it's like, well, I don't really have to move on. I don't really, or maybe you feel like you can't move on because somehow they're still chiming into your life or you still want that. I mean, imagine in a relationship, you get used to someone for so long that when you break up, it's almost like, well, now I'm where's the thing that I'm so familiar with, that I got used to, that I got comfortable having every single day or whatever. And you have your obviously your problems, but then you reflect on the good times that you had. You're like, man, I don't have those good moments anymore, even if they were brief. So I feel like completely eliminating communication allows you to grieve. It allows you to feel, to purge the pain.
Mourn,
And I think that it'll allow you to really reflect and then heal properly. And then maybe you can then have some sort of contact, but it's only until you both feel like you're in a position that you've both have healed and can have learned something from it, where if you were to move forward, whether it's together, whether it's just as acquaintances, whether it's just as friends, however you want to, it's in a place that you guys are both healed and comfortable with whatever relationship will come from that.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. You said it spot on. And don't fall into this game like, oh, I'm going to unblock him, see if he reaches out. And if you're going to be playing those games, then you're not ready to truly move on. But if you are ready to move on, then you have to allow each other space to kind of mourn and grow and grieve,
I concur.
Lovely.
How do I stop attracting toxic guys?
Let me see this person. Yeah, how do I
I'm trying to look at these people.
I got to get an idea. It's hard, because we have no context. But I generally
this
speaking,
is easy, dude. Stop picking them.
Stop being toxic yourself.
Yeah. Stop picking the toxic guys. I mean, the only way that you're going to continue attracting them is because you keep allowing them a foot in the door.
Also, you have to be aware of some of these flags and be aware of some of the cues and like, to be honest, I mean, not for anything. Like, I know it's different because we have a good amount of experience. But I can see red flags from a mile away. Like on a woman, easy. I'm not single, but even if I meet people and even not in a romantic manner, I hear, listen, I talk to people, pay attention to their patterns, to their mannerisms, how they talk about other people, how they speak about their situations. You can pick up rather quickly a character of somebody and who they are. So before you even move on to all these things, like you can spot somebody who's not healthy from a mile away. I believe so, and then just walk the other way.
Yeah, we had said it with Dr. Dorenzo. I don't know if that's going to be before or after this episode comes out, but yeah, I think you just have to live the life that you want to live and whatever those values are. And I feel like if you're going to be a toxic person, you're obviously going to be attracting those people. You're in more control than what you think. I feel like you might need to tighten this one right here. You're in more control. Yeah, you're in a little bit more control than you think. So don't think that because you're all I do is attract toxic guys. Well, think about what it is that's drawing these guys in. What am I doing? Similar to the first question that we had. What am I putting out there that's allowing these toxic guys to say, that's the one?
Yeah.
Also, how do you know that they're toxic? What? I feel like you have experience in knowing what a toxic person is. If you feel like that's all you're attracting, what are they giving off that's toxic? So yeah, I feel like that's what it is. I feel like you're in much more control, and if you feel like that's all you're attracting, self-reflect, see what it is that's going on, because you're obviously giving them the time of the day if you feel like that's all you're bringing into your life.
It's amazing how many great people you can attract when you have a great mentality, when you are a great person. Think about all the people that you're a great person yourself. Think about all the great people you have in your life. It's not coincidence that you surround yourself with those people. It's because you are, and you attract those type of people. And we've said it all the time, but it's really that simple. It's who you are is what you're going to allow in your life, who you're going to provide in your life.
What we said with Dr. D. Create a list of everything that you want in a partner and become that partner. Become that person. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's when you're going to start attracting those people with the same qualities.
I like that. Dating and work /gym /class. I've always been an advocate for don't shit where you eat. But I guess I got
looks like, does this person?
No, they only responded once. I guess
I think that maybe we have something in our DMs. Let me check. Nope, nothing.
Yeah, okay, so this person...
anyways, dating at work, gym, class. I've always been an advocate for don't shit where you eat, but clearly, he's probably second guessing or someone else has had comments.
Yeah, I mean, listen, depending on like your surroundings and what peer group you are, there's only so many people you're going to be able to meet, and chances are you'll meet them either at work or in school or maybe at the gym. So I mean, it's an organic way to meet people, and we just talked about it, meeting people organically, meeting people naturally. So at work it's tricky. I don't like doing that. I don't think I've ever done that, so that's a good thing. Class, I feel like, I don't think that's, you're depending on how old this person is. If you're in school, you're gonna meet people with the same age group, same interests, same passions. You're gonna date the same people you're gonna be in class with. In worst case, you switch the class. I don't think that's that big of a deal. Work is a little bit trickier. I wouldn't recommend that. And the gym,
and most places won't even let you
at work.
Yeah, most places won't even allow you to date someone at work. Well, at least within the same vicinity as you. So, there's a reason why you don't do that. You don't want to bring in personal issues into the work environment. You don't want to imagine you start dating someone that's going to the gym and then you guys break up. Do you still go to the gym, or do you feel like you have to switch gyms? With class, you're going to class and then you start dating someone, you guys break up, you see them every day still. Is that going to affect your coursework?
Sucks, yeah.
At work, are those issues going to be involved? So let's say, for example, I'm dealing with a client, or maybe, I don't know, you work with your significant other, and then they look at you talking to someone, that's probably better looking than them, and you're like, oh, what did that person want? Like, that starts to now seep into the work. That's why you don't shit where you eat, because it could affect exactly what it is that you're eating. My opinion is, try to avoid it, and if you can, make the changes necessary, because it really will become. It may sound great now, like just like you said, we're in the same group and in the same age group, whatever, and you see them every day. It's organic, but think of what could happen if it does go south. You don't want to think about that, but you do want to be able to compartmentalize both of those, so then they don't kind of seep. Or
I think it depends also in what capacity you guys work or interact. If there's a way for you to create distance, if it doesn't go well, that makes things a little bit easier. It's tough. Like, I would highly advise against dating like a supervisor or superior, because that's really where you can get in trouble and stuff like that. Like what if things don't work out, it's retaliation or whatever, etc., etc. So that would be highly not advisable. But again, it's what you were saying. If you can avoid it, great. You know, if not, make sure you have an exit strategy.
I mean, there's a reason why they don't really allow that.
Well, it's usually they don't allow it for a superior to date somebody who's a subordinate.
No,
but if you're on the same set, like, I mean, it depends on the job, maybe perhaps, but I know people who date, they're on the same like level, and that's
but
permissible.
do they work together?
Yeah, they work together. I guess it depends on the field,
Yeah,
or in the department,
or the necessity of the type of industry.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, dude, if in my
Maybe
my
in your
job,
job.
if I were to date someone that I'm working directly with, I mean, again, if it were to go south, how is that going to affect the clients? I was like, what if we leave to go to lunch somewhere where they're freaking eating, you know, just on a date at that point? They're like, yo, where you guys at? Like, we need you guys both here. No, you guys can go out together because of, you know.
Yeah, but that's not really because you guys are romantically involved. You guys are just choosing to go and break together, which maybe you guys aren't able to.
No, but I'm saying that if you are dating someone who's at your job, because, yeah, you could still, like, go out while they're somewhere else if they can meet up with you.
Yeah.
But if you guys are constantly together at work, it's like, it's only going to happen more often because you guys are both there at the same time. You guys are both going to have to eat at the same time. Like, if they're working somewhere else, they're going to have their own lunch schedules. It's not like they're going to stop what they're doing and come to see you so then you can go out and have lunch. So it's like those things where it's like it can really interfere with...
work can cause more trouble than it's worth, for sure.
All right. Is it true that a guy will only know after sex if he wants something serious with this girl?
With a girl, maybe. I mean, to be honest, I think sex is important, and I think having sex at the beginning, like after the first couple of dates, yeah, you want to know. Because imagine, bro, like imagine the sex is terrible. Are you going to continue to date this person? Probably not, dude.
Yeah, but she's saying it more of when the guy, like he'll know after.
Yeah, I'm saying, but before you have sex, are you gonna like? Are you gonna?
Yeah, but the woman, you could just say the same thing about a woman, and that's not the point. And I know exactly where she's leaning with this because you probably already saw the video too of Andrew Schultz. He said it best that men have this thing called post nut clarity. Okay,
I watched
that once the guy busts a nut, things kind of get put into perspective. You know, do I really like this person? Was I just super horny at the time and I just wanted to get a nut off? And this was the first person that I came across. You've never had post nut clarity?
I mean, of course, sure, but I don't know if that's would be applicable, like to date somebody permanent, like in that situation.
Well, is it true that a guy will only know after sex if he wants something serious with this girl? I mean, if you look at it as approach as, well, yeah, sex is important, of course. I mean, I feel like it'll add to the relationship, and if it's bad, then that can also be very detrimental to the relationship. But I think the question is, if once the guy busts, if he's gonna be like, well, is this something, like, do I really want to continue, or did I not really care about this girl? Did I just want to get a nut off? And I feel like that's kind of what happens, because a lot of guys will get into it. They start talking to the girl, and then they finally have sex, and then they finally got it off, and they're like,
Fuck it, yeah.
I thought I would feel a little bit more. Yeah, because think about it. You build up this, and that's exactly what Andrew Schultz says. It's not that he wants to be a dick about it. It's true, because you really are chasing this girl, and you're like, man, I really wonder, like, and she's interesting. I'm going out with her, and then you finally have the moment that you have sex, and you're like, damn, I thought it would feel something a little bit more. Something against the girl. It's just, I thought I was gonna feel something. You didn't.
Yeah, post nut clarity is a real thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's what it is. I mean, I feel like it is true. So it's nothing against you, but it could be that the guy, maybe he was really after you and he finally busted, and he probably just realized that, you know, I thought this was going to be more. He just didn't feel anything. It's happened to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, yeah, I can see that.
Has it happened to you? Where you're probably after some girl and you finally did it and you're like, I thought I would feel something else.
But then, no, I think at the time, I knew that, okay, like, I probably just wanted to, like, fuck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I've had instances that I was chasing, and then I finally did it. And I'm like, this is gonna suck.
No, like, maybe the sex, but then things didn't end, they didn't end, but not because of this, like, now I have clarity that, I know I don't want to be with this person.
No, we're talking about different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, what's the other? I think we had the part.
Oh, boy.
You You want me to read it?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Great.
Where is this at? Okay.
Part 1. Okay. Baby daddy has been with girlfriend for 8 years. We've never met her, yet her mother always buys my daughter gifts for holidays and birthdays. Whenever he hangs out with my daughter, he's typically always flirty towards me and recently tried to have sex with me. When I mentioned his girlfriend, he said, I don't know about her anymore. And disclosed how he was a bit unhappy with her. I didn't sleep with him, but I also don't understand why we haven't always met her. What? Why we haven't also met her since they've been together for 8 years.
How have you not met?
He's been with his girlfriend for 8 years.
You've never met her?
Her mother, baby daddy has been with his girlfriend for 8 years, yet we've never met her. Yet her mother always buys my daughter gifts for holidays and birthdays whenever he hangs out with. I have no idea.
The important question, like, how do you have a kid with this person? Presumably, he has her at some weekends or whatever. He spends time with her. You've never met the girlfriend? That's weird to me to begin with, but that's odd.
My daughter, he's always flirty towards me, and recently, I mean, it's a baby daddy. Of course, he's gonna. I mean, there's still a little bit of thing there where he keeps trying to dabble back in and flirt and whatever.
Mother of his child.
I don't know about her anymore. He was a bit unhappy with her. I didn't sleep with him, but also don't understand why we haven't also met her since they've been together for 8 years. Yeah, bro, because it sounds like he probably wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. He wants to make sure that it stays separate. So, imagine, why would he want you guys to meet if he's trying to still hook up with you?
That would be odd.
Exactly, because then you guys are not going to form a relationship, because that's what you should do. I mean, especially if, it's baby daddy. Like, now my child is with the baby daddy and the girlfriend.
That's what I'm saying. But then it's your responsibility to say, hey, listen, I need to meet this person.
Yeah, but I feel like he's the one that's trying to
No, of course. Yeah, because he wants to fuck around.
Right.
Or have that opening if ever necessary. And he'll probably say, oh, I'm not as happy. But that's what he's telling you.
I got it now. I got it. Easy. So why you guys haven't met? Clearly because he wants to keep it separate, because he wants to be able to obviously have his girlfriend 8 years. He's been comfortable there, but why not still try, if I have the opportunity, with the person who brought the child into this world, that we brought it together. I feel like, he's just trying to have his cake and eat it too. He's trying to flirt around with you, yet also flirt with her, because the moment that you guys meet, you guys form a relationship, whether it's a good one or bad one, you guys can always communicate behind each other's back, and he wants to avoid it. The fact that he's trying to, still have sex with you.
Sketchy.
Who's to say that you're not going to run and tell her if you have the relationship? If you put it this way, you can actually just go and tell her now that he's trying to have sex with you. But if you did that, then for sure you guys wouldn't have a relationship. But it's true.
Yeah. What a dick.
Okay, that's it. I think those are all the questions that we got this week, right?
There was one more. I already answered it via
why are your videos on YouTube only previews?
I had responded to that. So obviously we shifted a couple months ago. We shifted to Patreon, and if you're watching this, you'll be first person to be watching it. We appreciate the support. It means a lot to us, and it helps us grow, helps us create more content by you being a Patreon member. And so the clips that you see on YouTube are highlights of new episodes, so you can get a little bit of an idea of it. If you want to watch a full episode early, right when it comes out, obviously you'll have to be on Patreon. $5 a month. It's nothing. It's just, it helps us grow the show and continue the show. However, moving forward, our older episodes that are many months old, we will be made available on Patreon, on YouTube, so you can watch it. Yes, they're older, but if you want to have access to them when they come out, obviously you'll have to be a Patreon member. But we do want to give new followers and people who may not even follow us a chance to kind of get an idea of who we are and get access to the older episodes as well. So they will be on YouTube. So stay tuned. There's a lot of new things that are coming out. And so we're not done with YouTube just yet.
Not at all. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for the questions submitted this week. We will be launching these very soon. With that being said, you guys are the best.
Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate you guys. Ciao.
Peace.